What's going on? It's Charles Botensten. So this is the biggest thing is I actually just did an entire video. It was amazing, and literally I looked at my battery pack, which is my video, and I'm looking at it now to make sure that the audio was working. This is the third video that I'm doing for this, so I'm pretty well aware of what I'm talking about right now because I'm exhausted talking about it. I just want to get it out on paper. So the biggest thing now is I'm actually innovating. Innovating is visually giving you guys exactly what's on my mind. So instead of saying this, and you're like, I don't know what you're talking about, Charles, draw it out. We're going to be drawing it out. So let me know in the comments below if you like the whiteboard. I tried something called black glass, and it was too reflective. Then you could see the camera in the back of the room, then it didn't focus, and it was a total disaster. So now I'm thinking maybe a chalkboard, blah, blah, blah. This is all part about what we're going to be talking about, which is called the funnel of success. The funnel of success is something that I've talked about for ad nauseum. You know, people, they always ask the question, doesn't matter what they're in. It could be football, it could be going to be the best in the NFL, it could be creating an app, it could be in sales, it could be in real estate. They're going to ask one question, and that one question is this right for me? And I'm going to visually put it out exactly what I'm talking about. So you have something, and I'll reference Gary Vaynerchuk's biggest talking point, which is patience. A lot of people say, Gary, I don't understand what you're talking about with patience, is that this is what he's talking about. And there's a macro part and there's a micro part. So the micro part, we'll call it the micro, is the day to day, all right? Then the macro part is the long term, which we'll talk about here. We'll call it long term, which is a long-term vision, all right? Your long-term vision is, it could be, if you've never thought over a year, then it's 2 years. If you're a company that's very established, like GE, Ford, Wells Fargo, then you're talking about 20 years, 30 years out. You know, and it's not like we know what the technology is going to be, but at least have a game plan. For me, I have a 20-year plan. I'm 31, I had to think about it. I'm 31 right now. I'm soon going to be 32. So then it's going to be 52 years old. You know, a lot of people that are watching this, you're either in your 50s or you're like a teenager and you're like, I can't even think of that. I'll tell you right now, Gary's talked about it in his videos, is that age is, I know the cliche is age is just a number. Age is just a number if you actually take care of yourself. And right now I have way more energy than I did when I was 25 and way more energy when I was 21 or 18 and whatever. Like, yeah, when I was a kid, I was probably like bouncing off the walls because I was eating a bunch of sugar. But right now, it's actually clean food. I sleep well, I exercise and things like that. And to get here, you need that. Okay, so this is the 10%, and we'll get up here, or I'm sorry, this is the 100%, and then this is the 10%. And this is with anything, okay? 100% of the people, they start a company, okay? So, but to get here, you already have people. So LeBron James, Facebook, Amazon, Tesla, SpaceX, you know, the people who are up here, Nike, Under Armour, you know, the best. And then you have people that start a company. Okay, this is the funny thing is, people are like, yeah, but there's so much competition. There was always competition. Facebook had a very established competitor in MySpace when they started in 2004. And by the way, there is also Friendster, which was number 2. Facebook came on, they already had competitors, and they just crushed them. And Peter Drucker talks about it. There's only 2 ways to actually long-term get better and better and better and move up this is time, and that is through innovation. This is the long-term view. Innovation and marketing, okay? So the biggest thing is most people can market, but they don't innovate. These are the people like Barnes & Noble. This is like, I don't know, who else fell off? Blockbuster, Best Buy, Circuit City. These are the people that are not innovating. Even people like Walmart. Walmart's trying to make a play against Amazon. It's like they have marketed, they have stores all over the world, they have marketed the hell out of everyone. Everyone knows Walmart. The problem is they're not innovating. And guess what? Even if you are marketing, even if you are established, if you're not innovating and the marketplace over time is going up, bye-bye. And we're going to be talking about that, the success curve. So this is the success funnel. The success curve is essentially, most people think it's like this. Here is success, here is time. And they think the more time I spend doing things, and we'll talk about this in a second, the more time I start doing things, then the more successful I'll be. The more time I am invested in playing football, I'm probably going to make the NFL. The more time I spend coding or looking at the app, then it's definitely going to be successful. Great example is a guy who had a lot of marketing known as Casey Neistat. Casey Neistat had, what, 5-6 million people when he launched Beam, or maybe even 4 million. Now he has 8 or however million people he has on YouTube. He had the marketing. The problem is he didn't have the innovation. Okay, so you signed up for it, it was a little buggy, and you're like, why do I even need this? I already have Snapchat, now you have Instagram stories, you have Facebook stories, you have Facebook messaging stories, everyone has stories, blah, blah, blah. So he had the marketing, he didn't have the innovation. He thought over time the success would come as well. This is what most people think. So getting into this is really where the bread and butter of what Gary Vaynerchuk talks about in patience. You have the micro, which is day-to-day, which is, say, I'll use real estate as an example, because that's the industry I'm in. So most people say they join, they get their license, they're excited. And by the way, relate this to yourself, because everyone joins something. I start a company, I go to the gym for the first time, I have a relationship, or whatever the case is, everyone starts here. I have an app, I have a website, I have a service, I have a product that I want everyone to look at or to buy or to subscribe. It could be you. If you have a YouTube channel, everyone enters. The thing is, almost immediately, you have the people that put out 3 or 4 videos, they get like 1 negative comment, and then they're like, this really isn't right for me, and then they just leave. So those are the people that really weren't serious. Those are the people, okay, cool. Or you're in football, you get your first you get hit for the first time, and you're like, this isn't really for me. So then you eliminate about 10% of the people. Then there's 90. Then this is, someone said no to me. You start throwing sales calls out, you start looking for money if you're a startup, and then people start rejecting you. They start saying, no, I don't like the service. Sorry, Beam, but I'm using Snapchat. Or sorry, Casey, I love you, but the product isn't really that good. So then 80% start, 80% remain, okay? Then over here, this is a market recorrection. You know, market recorrection is also known as a recession, or, you know, something that hits your industry. You know, maybe your industry went through a big change, like stockbrokers. They're not really needed. Or you're a travel agency, and now you don't really need a travel agent. You could just go online and just go directly to the airline, go directly to the vacation spot. So then now you only have 70%. And we're going to reach this threshold, which is 50%. And by the way, so then a competing technology comes along, like the internet or something else. Then you hit this point, this is the last point, the 50% point, where most people, this is all the people that leave. Okay, these are the people that they liked it, they thought they liked it, they saw it on TV, they thought entrepreneurialism was sexy. This is time, and time is all relative. Okay, time could be, it could be a month, it could be a year, it could be 5 years. It depends on how saturated the marketplace is. You know, something like AR and VR or 3D printing, they're so new that the time on that and the competition, most people exit because they don't have the sales. Yeah, they're innovating, they're marketing, but there's no sales. So to actually get in this, you have to do what other people are not willing to do. Here's another example. People are in here in school, people that are getting, you know, like myself. This was me in the bottom part of school. I didn't really care, I didn't really like it, I didn't want to be there. So guess what? I dropped out. And my success over time was not this, it was this, okay? So the 50% of the people really flatline. They flatline. They hit the 50% and then they flatline, okay? So they flatline because they think this is the most subscribers, or this is the most amount of money. They don't innovate, they continue marketing, and then their long-term goals, they flatline, they're part of the 50%. To get into this area, you have to do something which we'll be talking about in a second. So to get in this is the barrier. So to get in here, you have to do things that other people are not willing to do. Maybe door-to-door sales. You have to go cold calling. You have to go to more banks. Or if you're a writer, you have to do something that other people are not willing to do. Maybe go to 30 or 40 publishers, or you have to go self-publish. Or if you're in the music industry, take venues that you'd normally not want to play at because they're too small, or they're not big enough, or whatever the case is. You have to do things, making sales calls in real estate. That's part of this area. And then this is what happens. So then 40% of the people do a little bit more. They're sustaining. You know, their growth curve is like this. But the people in the top 10% is literally this line right here. They're just taking off because they do both of these. And not only that, as Peter Drucker said, those two things, but success over time is not like this. Success over time is more like I hit here, and then the internet comes out. We have to figure it out. We have a lull. Most people fall out because they have a lull in sales, and then they say, oh, okay, you know what? We're going to sell online. Or a new technology, AR, VR, 3D printing just came out. Boom, we innovated the car industry. This is a perfect example because you have Apple, you have Google, you have Tesla, all of those. What they're saying is that you're not buying a car, you're buying an experience. You're buying something that literally I could send you an update. You don't have to buy a new car. You can stay with the same car. The update is downloaded into the car, so you're really just driving a computer. That's really what you are. And I don't have my phone on me, but that's essentially what it is. It's not a phone anymore, it's a computer. It's a device, it's a communication device, it's an audience device, it's a marketing device, it's an innovating device, okay? It started as a computer, a car started as a car, transportation vehicle. Now, listen, if you have just electric, or you have something that's self-driving, or you have literally a computer screen that knows you, that turns on your lights in your house when you pull up to the garage, or you're going through a toll and you don't even need an Easy Pass, or it charges you because it just knows you're a Tesla, or tells you the best routes, you're in this 10% that you almost don't even need to market as much. All right, so here we go. So who do the people in the 30 and the 20 and then the 20 to the 10, this is a unique area. And we'll call this just, they have hacked time. So the only way to actually hack time is when you leverage your time. You leverage your time through other people, you leverage your money through other people. So that's what, this is what, the best way to explain it is that when you enter a marketplace, most of the time you have a ton of time, you just don't have any money. You enter the app space, you put it out, you develop, you have no one downloading it, you have no sales, you have no money, so you have a ton of time. But then as you get up here, you don't have any more time, you have a ton of money, and also known, which is, I love this word, which is choice. You have the choice on who to choose. You have choice on what you want to do, where you want to spend your money, where you want to R&D. Who do you want to market to? Specifically, this person at this time. You can now host events, you can now do the fun things, you can now do corporate kind of little restructuring with, you just have this team, the sales team, they're all together. Before you had them all in one area, the sales team, the marketing team, the IT team, all together. Now you just put them in one area, then you put someone above because you have choice, because you have money. And then this is where it really comes about. You have talent. And once you have talent, talent is people, you have the best talent. People want to work for you because you have the environment. You have to have the environment, which is very important. You know, obviously the ping pong tables and everything else, that's fun, and it's kind of like a nice stress release. However, what's the choice that you do with your money? Okay, so right here you have not a lot of time, but you have a ton of money. So to hack between 20 and 10%, you literally have to figure out, I remember this story. Jeff Bezos he got pitched by someone. And the guy said, do you have 10 minutes of your time? Jeff Bezos replied, and obviously urban myth or not, you know, he replied and he literally told the guy, he said, I'm trying to save 45 seconds from brushing my teeth. It was either Elon Musk or 45 seconds. Brushing your teeth. He's like, I want to brush my teeth faster. He's just trying to hack his life because he has a ton of money. However, his time at 53 years old right now, it's dwindling. You know, his success over the long term is not going to be like this. It's an exponential growth. Then I heard another story, is either Zuckerberg or Elon Musk, where they said that they take too much time eating. They wanted to figure out to shorten the amount of time to chew food fast. They wanted high nutrient, just power punch where they could either drink it or they could just eat less and get the same amount of nutrient. They were like, I spend 15, 20 minutes eating, and he goes, it's a waste of time. Eating, that's insane. Most people, they wait on lines outside. I'm literally looking in New York City right now. There's a window right here out into New York City where people wait for hours online to eat at certain places. That's crazy. Like, yeah, I understand the experience is going to be amazing, but where are you spending your time, especially when you're here, you know? Most people are like, I want to have an amazing launch party. Okay, great. Well, you don't have a lot of money, but you're going to spend your time launching the product when you should be doing as what's his name says, Gary Keller talks about. He goes, your macro is this. This is your entire macro. And by the way, if you want to go over here, this essentially, this area right here is right here, the top 50%. Then over time is obviously time over here. So time, success, and then this is where most people fall, right here, and then they stagnate, and that's where they go for the rest of their life, and they had a moderately successful career, but to actually keep on innovating, that's these people right here, is they are in this 50%. So the biggest thing is, as Gary Keller talks about, what do you do on your macro, your day-to-day? What is your one thing that you do every single day? In real estate, it's sales calls. If you're in fitness, it's working out. If you're a writer, it's writing. If it's creative, it's obviously putting together photos or whatever you're doing. If you're a coder, it's coding. What is your one thing? Most people, and I'll just end on this because it's already at 16 minutes, most people, they get business, so we'll call it business, and then they maintain it, and then they say, okay, great, and then it closes, and then they get a paycheck. However, there's no new business coming in. So what I've noticed, to get in this area, I have to leverage my time, and by leveraging my time, I get more money. And my one thing is making sales calls every single morning. If I don't do that for the day, I feel like I lost the day. So what is the one thing? What's his name? The Dilbert creator, he came out with a book, How to Fail at Everything and Still Succeed, or something along those lines. And he said he has his day so hacked that he wakes up, he meditates, he creates, he eats breakfast, he creates, he goes to the gym, and then he feels that was a success. But the thing is, if he just maintains his success, which is, I'm the creator of Dilbert, I'm one of the most famous cartoonists of all time, if he maintains that, guess what? He's not innovating and he's not marketing. And guess what? He's part of the laggards. And the laggards are these people who fall out of the industry, or they're perfectly fine with their success, and then bye-bye, that's where they go. So the amount of money that you do is directly correlated to the one thing that you do every single day. So this is the funnel to success. This is time. So to get to this area, most people want it immediately. This is what Gary Vaynerchuk talks about, is most people want it immediately. They want to be in the top 10% of the amount of subscribers or likes or followers or business or money or whatever the case is, best body, relationship. They want to be up here. They're not willing to put in the time and go through all, shall I say, bullshit to get here. Rejection, market recorrections, competition, innovative products that come out. Or guess what? Nobody needs a stockbroker. Nobody needs a music label. Nobody needs your service anymore. Nobody needs a bookstore. Nobody needs you to mail us DVDs, okay? So can you get through this to innovate to get to the top 10%? That's the funnel success. So if you have any questions, leave it in the comments below. I hope this helped out a lot, because Gary talks about it, Gary Vaynerchuk talks about it, how to actually get to the top, but he doesn't really actually visually talk about it. So have an awesome day. Subscribe to the videos. Let me know your comments below. Talk to you soon.